Minamahal kong kababayan, on or about 1 o'clock a.m. 4 September, Alice Guo, also known as Guo Huaping, was arrested in Tangerang City, Jakarta, Indonesia.
Breaking news, kakapasok lang na balita. Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, viral ngayong araw matapos ang kanyang matapang na pahayag patungkol kay Alice Guo. Ginawa ni Pangulong BBM ang kanyang mabigat na anunsyo matapos tuluyang maaresto si ex-Bamban Mayor Alice Guo sa Tangerang City, Jakarta, Indonesia kaninang alauna ng madaling araw September 4, 2024. Dahil dito, may matinding babala ang ating mahal na Pangulo sa lahat ng nagtatangkang umiwas sa batas at hustisya. Ang mabigat na katanungan dito mga kababayan, sinabi na ba ni PBBM sa mga tao kung sino ang mga taong nasa likod ng pagtakas ni Guo nung nakarang buwan? Sino-sino kaya ang mga mananagot dito? Kaya naman mga kababayan, wag na natin itong patagalin pa. Samahan niyo ko at sabay-sabay nating alamin ang maiinit na balita sa araw na ito.
Minamahal kong kababayan, on or about 1 o'clock a.m. 4 September, Alice Guo, also known as Guo Huaping, was arrested in Tangerang City, Jakarta, Indonesia. I congratulate all law enforcement personnel who made this apprehension possible. The public may not know the intricate details of this mission that you have successfully accomplished, but on their behalf, accept my thanks. The Philippines also thanks the Indonesian government for their assistance on this matter. The close cooperation between our two governments has made this arrest possible. Let this serve as a warning to those who attempt to evade justice. Such is an exercise in futility. The arm of the law is long, and it will reach you. This government continues in its duty to apply the rule of law. Ms. Guo shall be entitled to all legal protections due her under the laws of the land and pursuant to our commitment to the rule of law. But we will not allow this to prolong the resolution of the case, whose outcome will be a victory for the Filipino people. Thank you and good day.
Samantala sa iba namang balita, ganap na pinakilos ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. ang gobyerno para tulungan ang mga Pilipinong naapektuhan ng Tropical Storm Enteng habang patuloy itong nakakaapekto sa ilang rehiyon sa ating bansa. Sa isang pahayag na nilabas ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. sa kanyang Facebook account kahapon, September 3, 2024, sinabi ni Pangulong Marcos na mahigit 16 million pesos na tulong ang naihatid na sa mga lugar na pinakamahirap at pinakamalalang tinamahan ng Bagyong Enteng. Dagdag pa rito ang 65.56 million pesos sa standby fund at 2.6 billion pesos na halaga ng pagkain at non-food items ay nakapreposition na at handang i-deploy upang matiyak na ang tulong na umabot kung saan ito higit na nangangailangan. Sinabi din ni Pangulong Marcos na ang rescue team ay walang sawang nagtatrabaho mula pa nung unang araw ng bagyo. At nalulugod ang ating Pangulo na ibahagi na higit 63,000 families ang nailigtas sa 452 na mga evacuation centers. Nanawagan si Pangulong Marcos sa mga LGU na tugunan kaagad ang mga issue sa waste management at binanggit din ang mga nasa ground, ang Department of Public Works and Highways at Department of Energy teams na nagsisikap na linisin ang mga kalsada at maibalik ang kuryente ng mabilis. Hinikayat din ng Pangulo ang lahat sa Ilocos Region, Cordillera, Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino, Zambales, Bataan, Aurora, Bulacan, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol, Western Visayas, Negros Island at Northern Samar na sundin ang payo ng mga lokal na otoridad sa lahat ng kinakailangang pag-iingat upang matiyak ang kanilang kaligtasan. Bagamat inaasahang lalabas na sa Philippine Area of Responsibility si Bagyong Enteng ngayong araw, September 4, 2024, sinabi ng Pangulo na magpapatuloy ang pagsisikap ng pamahalaan na tugunan ang mga biktima ng bagyo.
All right, so now we move on to the briefing of the DSWD on.
Good morning, Mr. President. Mr. President, I have 3 slides only. The first slide, next slide. Uh, th- well, Mr. President, basically just shows the number of affected families, which was reported by OCD already.
Yes, yes.
Our numbers come close to each other at 450,000. Nagkakaiba lang siguro, give or take, because of the cut-offs that we use. But it's around 450,000 affected families. The next slide. Well, pretty much the same, Mr. President. This is the number of families in evacuation center. Comes close to the OCD number as well. Kami nasa 18,000, sila nasa 22,000. Give or take because of the cut-offs again, Mr. President. Now, Mr. President, this is more interesting for you, the third slide. If we can just zoom a bit doon sa first column, yung family food packs. Mr. President, as reported to you the other night, we have already deployed 133,000 family food packs. And we are currently processing another 100,000, yung mga bago na dumating. But you're right, Mr. President, if you look at the breakdown of where we sent the food packs, it followed the path of the storm.
Of course.
With number one, of course, NCR, because nandito yung flooded areas all the time. But after NCR, it was Region 5, where the storm came closest at its height, 24,000. And then Region 3, 21,000. Calabarzon, 12,000. But of course, Mr. President, these are just augmentation numbers. Iba pa yung ginawa ng LGU. So what happens is they do theirs first. Pag they need backup, they call us. But right now, we are looking at closing the Enteng response at 250,000 family food packs altogether. Mr. President, moving forward, you also mentioned na we have to keep an eye out on the potential two storms.
Yes.
Before Enteng struck, we were able to restore our national stockpile to 1.7 million family food packs spread across the country. So now we're doing both response and stockpiling kasi we'll be using up our stockpile in those said regions. But we're confident mahahabol naman namin yun. As we speak right now, we're deploying and we're packing and we're stockpiling.
For the information of everyone, the reason that this has become an issue about our stockpiling is after Karina, basically, naubos ang ating stock. Kaya namili ulit ang DSWD ng mga food and non-food items para maging handa para sa susunod. Ito na yon. Ito na yung ating pre-procure dahil nga, like I said, nung pagkatapos ng action natin sa Karina, walang laman yung mga warehouse natin. Naubos talaga. And we had to put up the supplementary budget a little bit because that was our quota for the rest of the year. Pero naubos, wala tayong magagawa, so we will have to respond. And that is what Secretary Rex is now explaining to us now.
Mr. President, you're correct. Karina closed at 1.5 million family food packs in a span of 3 weeks. So as you mentioned, we na-wipe out yung stockpile natin, but we were able to, with your instruction and the supplemental cash that came in from the Endrim C, we were able to restore the power back to 1.7 million. And then now we're probably going to go back to 1.5, but we're continuously stockpiling to reach again the 1.7 to 2 million mark.
Well, of course, we will have to respond to Enteng and all the damages and the requirements that the areas na dinaanan nga ng Enteng are going to need. But let us not lose awareness of the next. We have to plan that we must assume that whatever we do now for the immediate needs of the people who are in the areas that have been hit hard, isipin natin na may susunod pa. So I think the procurement of the food packs, non-food items, etc., yung mga binibigay natin, wag lang natin tignan yan, tuloy-tuloy yan, tuloy-tuloy ito dahil mukhang may parating pa. And with the forecast of Pag-asa, the monthly forecast that we have one or two storms more or less on average for the rest of the year.
Yes, Mr. President. It's become an ongoing activity. It's a daily activity, Mr. President.
It's no longer one response for each. We have to also think of what is coming in the future para naman we are not caught short-handed when the time comes that we have to provide the relief and assistance that will be necessary pagkadating ng mga ibang weather systems. Yes.
Yes,
All
Mr.
right.
President, we'll do as instructed.
So
Thank you, sir.
as it stands, I think we're all right. We in terms of supply of our relief goods that we can give. All right, but we must continue the procurement because there is a very good chance that this is not going to be the last for this month. So we have to prepare for that. Okay. But so far, we are doing what we are always doing. We attend to those people who have been displaced. Those people, we're still providing food packs for those who have been displaced. Not only the people who have na nasa evacuation center. Di ba, lagi natin yung na-displaced lang, walang makain, napunta sa pamilya, napunta sa ibang lugar, kailangan pa rin tulungan.